Hello and welcome to the first episode of PSVCarr, a new series on this channel focused on the incredible frontier that is virtual reality. Specifically for the PlayStation VR, because I don't have money to get a Vive or an Oculus. But in this series, we're going to take a look at a bunch of PSVR titles that, in my humble opinion, are worth your attention. This first episode's kind of a freebie because, if you own a VR headset and you don't know about this game, that's crazy. You have done a great job avoiding the internet, sir. It's possible you've seen videos circulating the internet of people swinging around virtual lightsabers at colored blocks while techno music blares in the background. The game these new age Star Wars kids are playing is called Beat Saber.
An evolution of the Guitar Hero craze of the mid-2000s, Beat Saber is a rhythm VR game that tasks players with slicing red and blue blocks to the beat of the music with their respectively colored lightsabers. And while it sounds incredibly simple on paper, it's exhilarating once you put on that headset and start slicing blocks in half like they're Darth Maul. In addition to matching the colored saber to each block, you'll also need to match the direction of your slice with the direction of the arrow on each block. Some blocks have dots that can be sliced in any direction. You'll want to avoid these spiky balls, and there's these red walls that you'll need to move your body or head to avoid. But that's about it. Once you know these couple of things, you are ready to beat some sabers. Oh no. As I first started out, I was still developing my VR legs, as they say, but my first experiences on the lower difficulties were still really fun. There's just something so satisfying about the movement of Beat Saber, as each song is designed for your slices to flow into one another, so it feels natural as your eyes and hands bounce from block to block. The easier settings also give you a chance to really dance around and just have a genuinely good time, especially in party settings. This is one of my go-to party games now, as it's just really easy to pick up and play. The soundtrack is mostly comprised of techno EDM type stuff, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but it works really well in this context. But for the most part, the 19 songs in the base game work really well with this type of gameplay style. 2 of the songs even change the color of your lightsabers, which is awesome. The 2 DLC packs available on PSVR are actually where some of my favorite songs are, including the brand new Imagine Dragons pack, which I won't be playing for copyright issues. Unfortunately, the PSVR does not support modded songs like PC, so it's possible the soundtrack can get stale after a while. But when I grew more accustomed to Beat Saber and VR as a whole, is when things really started to beat up. You know, like heat up, but with beat, never mind. As I dipped my toes into the expert difficulty setting, I soon found the true joy of Beat Saber in what I can only describe as musical immersion. By learning the different possible note layouts as well as familiarizing myself with the soundtrack, I found myself getting lost in each individual song as my body tries to keep up with the barrage of notes flying towards my face. I found myself getting better and better, beating more songs on the expert level, and feeling like a goddamn Jedi while doing it. This is the true power of Beat Saber. Regardless of whatever difficulty setting you select when you're playing, you just can't help but feel really cool. As satisfying as strumming those plastic guitars all those years ago, Beat Saber makes you feel like a goddamn music note ninja. Too bad you probably won't look like it to your friends watching. I feel it's also important to note that on higher difficulties, Beat Saber is a pretty intense workout. You will sweat if you play this game for a while, especially when playing at the expert difficulty setting, which, crazy enough, is not the highest difficulty setting. That honor goes to Expert Plus, which is on a whole new level of difficulty. If you can even beat one song on this setting, you, my friend, are a true Jedi, which I obviously am not.
Oh my god!
In addition to just playing the songs normally, there's a bunch of different options you can fiddle with to give the game a bit more replayability, including the training mode, which lets you select exactly which part of the song you want to practice and how fast you want it to go. This is incredibly useful for learning particular sections of each song, so when it comes to playing it for real, you have a better idea of what to expect. Other than that, there's a no-fail mode for trying out songs without any pressure. You can play with only one saber for certain songs, and even change all the notes to dot blocks so you don't have to worry about direction. This is especially useful if you want to buy one of those Darth Maul controller mods, so you can channel the dark side of the Force while playing. These simple options might not sound like much, but each one offers a slightly different way of playing Beat Saber. There's even a single-player campaign that increases in difficulty as you progress, as well as applying some requirements during each song. They could range from straightforward ones like score requirements or only allowing a certain number of missed notes, but they can also be a bit more off the wall, like attain a maximum hand movement of 500 meters or maintain a combo no lower than 20 and no higher than 25. I really enjoyed how much these requirements changed the way I played each level. No longer was I flinging my hands all over, but now I must try to move as little as humanly possible. Or now I have to intentionally miss some notes to keep my combo in the range. It's a fun mode, but I will admit after progressing a bit, these requirements become a little too crazy and kind of bring down the entire experience, which is why I haven't beaten the campaign yet. But it doesn't take anything away from the base game, so I'm just happy there's more ways to play. But yeah, that's about it for everything I have to say about Beat Saber. Like all VR games, it doesn't really hook you until you try it out for yourself. But if you haven't tried it out yet, which honestly I don't know how you could have not heard of this game by now, I highly recommend picking up Beat Saber as soon as you can.
If you like this episode of PSVCarr, hit up those comments and tell me what PSVR title I should take a look at next. Here's the list of titles around here that I already own. So if I own it already, definitely tell me to play it. But if I don't, you know, we'll take a look at the old wallet. This series is all about me finding new VR experiences to have in this PSVR. So please, just tell me all the games that I don't know about on PSVR. Do it, please. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit that little bell right next to it to be notified of my latest uploads. Thanks for watching and goodbye! I'm leaving.